Hey guys, MoiDawg here, and today we are checking out Sanxian Islands, an unreleased map coming to Squad hopefully soon, but included as a bit of a teaser for us to play during the last Infantry Combat Overhaul Playtest. We haven't had a new map added to Squad since Haru way back in November 2022, but unlike Haru, which, as fun as it is, and I do love to see Finland represented in the game, it still has a lot of that same terrain and foliage we're used to seeing. You have the usual European apartment blocks, the same type of industrial areas, you got dense forest. I mean, it's fun, don't get me wrong, but it is more of the same. Sanxian, however, is far and away one of, if not the best maps I've played in Squad. The map itself is a collection of 5 or 6 larger islands with a chain of smaller ones down in the south, and as you hop in your boat and you start sailing towards the objectives, you can't help but just appreciate the colors and design of everything around you. From sandy beaches to the tall rocky cliff faces, the map just screams the Pacific, and it really gives me old school Battlefield 4 naval strike vibes. Now, I will say, as you watch the background footage here, you might notice not everything has textures. When the playtest started for the Infantry Combat Overhaul, the devs stated that despite this map not being finished, they did want to include it in order to get us a small taste of it. Personally, I really appreciate the fact that the devs just gave it to us unfinished. I mean, I don't know if anything else is going to change other than maybe adding some textures and fleshing out a little of these objectives, but if they did nothing else but fix the texture issues, I think they have absolutely nailed it. When you start games on Sanxian, the early pushes with boats and helicopters can allow for some really cool skirmishes in the open water, as well as allowing players to set up sneaky fobs on the islands. The southern chain of islands that surrounded Objective Charlie, for example, on this layer, were absolute bloodbaths. Whichever team got there first would try and build up defenses, set up machine guns, set up mortars, and your only response was to do the same on an island that you've picked, and then try to call in a vehicle and help you assault across the open water. This is where teamwork comes into play, because despite my best efforts, you really need your vehicles working together in order to break down a defense that not only has 1, huge HESCO walls and MG bunkers, but 2, are also taking advantage of the natural cliff faces and waist-high water.
Straight towards observe, 060. Go, 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 go.
Let's go. Copy, I'm moving.
Squad 9, is that radio on D10 being dug down?
Get to the ridge, straight ahead.
It's gone down. This is a horrible assault. Ooh, water's deep.
Oh, it's scuffed, it's scuffed. I believe.
I'm scared.
I got it. If it's the radio, then you might want to fall back. Oh, fuck.
God damn it. Alright, that's way too deep.
Yeah, it is.
There
Did you get a
must...
retreat?
Oh, just north of
Yeah,
us
he's
is
dead.
walkable. God damn it.
Even though we did get pushed back multiple times, I will say it was pretty fun trying to smoke out the enemy, suppress them, and then push the beach. But if you pick the wrong spot, you and your squad will end up getting absolutely deleted. I love the island hopping. It's fun, it's different, and it really tests you as a player and a squad leader if you do decide to pick up that role, since you really can't just do the usual fob spam around an objective and aimlessly rush in from whichever direction works at this moment. I do think the design itself made it a bit easier to move around the map, since you could choose between boats, amphibious vehicles, land vehicles, and helicopters, and you never really felt like you were trapped. There are also areas where you felt like you were safe, but as you can see here, we're shooting at this helicopter, trying to distract it, and then from way downtown, we have a nice little tow fob, and someone's able to take a nice shot and destroy that chopper.
Oh no, I'm messed up.
It's alright. Here, reload. Reload.
Suggesting the enemies seem to have a potential head northwest. We're gonna need a supply ammo's gonna run dry. And we eliminated the
What?
What just happened?
I'm taking the assist for it. He's distracted with our boat.
Did like bullets hit it?
Yeah, he was just scared. Yeah, someone on the ATGM suited on the ATGM fob just nailed it. That was sick.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's just so much you can do in this map, and the devs have thought through how players might move around the islands as well, and have made plenty of shallow areas so that you can actually just hop in a logi and even drive off to the next point if you want to. But the water, the amphibious stuff, the island hopping, these aren't the only fun parts of Sanxian. There are plenty of jungles, farmland, rolling hills, and rock faces that make fighting engaging and extremely immersive. I never realized how much we needed a Pacific map up until this moment where we had just ambushed a Chinese IFV, only to then get into a close quarters firefight with infantry seconds later. I got some old school Battlefield Vietnam or Rising Storm 2 vibes with a lot of the firefights here, but it doesn't just have this Vietnam Pacific ambush feel, but you also have plenty of urban areas as well to break up the monotony of your potential jungle bushwookie firefights. There's a giant power plant smack in the middle of the island, as well as plenty of smaller villages dotted around, and I think my absolute favorite objective to fight over was actually this town up north. A river splits the town right down the middle north to south, and you end up with some really cool firefights along the houses, with infantry trying to make big plays to control the bridges. Now, if you haven't hung out in the streams and you just don't really know about some of my past, I actually used to live in Shanghai, China, and there's a town there called Zhujiajiao. Zhujiajiao is maybe more commonly known to tourists as the water town, and it was even showcased in the intro to Mission Impossible 3 way back in the day. I think the houses in Sanxian could look a little bit more Chinese, but the layout itself of this objective made me feel like I was back in China, and especially Zhujiajiao, which was really cool, and ultimately that's what you want to feel if you're playing on a map that is supposed to be in China. Overall, I think Sanxian played extremely well, and you'll be happy to know that I was also getting really good performance. I was playing on max settings, and most of the time I think I was hovering around 100 FPS. Now, it's not the same as 140 or 160 I'm now getting on maps like Gorodok, but for an unfinished map during an unoptimized Infantry Combat Overhaul Playtest, I really can't complain. It's by far and away better optimized than maps like Anvils, so to me, it really feels like the devs are living up to their earlier blog post where they talked about completely overhauling the design and development processes for maps. And if this is the type of quality we're going to be getting in the future, I definitely can wait till Sanxian is completely finished. My only concern is that actually some of the current maps in game are going to look like complete trash compared to Sanxian when this does finally come out. But what do you guys think? Did you play Sanxian as well? Do you like the visuals? Do you like the way the map plays out? And are you as excited as I am about amphibious warfare and island hopping? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. But that's about it. Until next time, peace.
Moving left to right through this little hole.
I'm alive. Yeah.
Got another one.
Alright, we're all up.
Oh,
Oh shit, helicopter.
got him.
Nice. Good hit.
Enemy helicopter destroyed.